Nice. Hello, everybody. I'm Steven. This is Friday, our regular support call. And I'm going to start with a nice, gentle group release on the topic of the fear of getting it wrong. Did I get that right? So, what we're talking about here is perfectionism. It's that sense that I have to do it the right way and there's no possible other choice. If I don't get it right, disaster. And all of us know how this feels to one extent or another. And the result of this kind of perfectionism, this insistence on not getting it wrong, what happens? The mind goes into a spiral, looking at all the different possibilities of how to get it wrong. This is one of the biggest roots of anxiety. And another result, of course, is freeze. Because if you're not sure that you're going to get it right, you don't do anything. So, with that little introduction, let's get started. Think about something that you need to do, something that you want to get right, something that you're afraid of getting wrong. Take a moment or two. I'm sure that you've got something. We all do. Have a look and see. Memories come up, stories. Sometimes our mind makes little videos in our head. That happens too. And notice what's happening in the body especially. Notice any kind of tightening, discomfort, tension. Have a breath or two. Would you give this all permission to be like this? Would you allow it to be here just for now? And then check and see if any no came up, any resistance, any wanting this to be different. Because that's a very natural response. Check and see if there's any resistance, any desire for control. And it's enough just to notice how that shows up. And then notice, doesn't it feel personal? Check and see. Does it feel like it's a you getting that wrong? And now if you're ready, could you just drop this, let this go? And would you? Are you willing? And remember, by the way, either answer is acceptable. Would you let this go? And when? Yeah, good. So, when we're worried, when we're afraid about making a mistake, getting it wrong, there's usually the sense that other people are watching. It's that sense of the spotlight is on me, the pressure is up. And of course, that can generate a lot of feelings. The feeling of being judged, right? Not good enough. The possibility of rejection. So notice how that feels. Think about what it is, whatever the topic is. And then the feeling that all eyes are on you. You're in the spotlight. So notice how that shows up in the body and in the mind. Check for any kinds of memories, stories, images, sounds. And since that's here anyway, could you allow it? And this time, could you take an additional step? Could you even welcome it further? Whatever's feeling now, whatever's coming up, could you invite even more? I know that's counterintuitive. It's not the natural thing to want to do. But play along with me and see what happens. Could you invite even more of this reaction to be here? And see what happens. And take a breath or two and be with it just as best you can for a moment longer. Whatever came up. And now, check and see what would the opposite of that be. And only you know the answer. For me, it would be freedom. So just for now, could you invite that, let's just say freedom, the openness, the willingness. And then when you're ready, the spotlight is on me. Welcome up that feeling and that reaction. All eyes on me. And remember, you better get it right. So notice that reaction, and then, when you're ready, could you welcome freedom, openness, ease, whatever the opposite of that feeling is for you. Invite that to be here and simply breathe and be with that for a moment. And let's do this one more time. Back to the original feeling, whatever it is that you want to get right, and the spotlight is on you, and notice how that feels. And allow that reaction to be here, and if you can, welcome it even just a bit more. See what happens. And then, when you're ready, could you open yourself to the opposite, whatever that is for you? Freedom, expansiveness, ease, openness. And simply be with that feeling. Okay. So ultimately what this comes down to is the feeling of me. When I'm afraid of getting something wrong, this is a reflection on me, who I am, my value, right? So check and see if there's a sense of that. And notice how that shows up in the body especially. Check especially on the core of the body from the neck down to the groin, but also any other place for tension, shoulders, neck, head, anywhere else in the body that feels constricted, uncomfortable, tight. And simply breathe that up and be with that feeling as best you can. However it shows up. The feeling of a me that has to get this right. You'll notice it's that sense of the individual struggling against a cruel and heartless world. Notice how that shows up in the body. And when you're ready, notice also that which surrounds and interpenetrates all sensation, Notice that upon which all sensation appears, the openness, the ease, the beingness. And sit with that for a moment. And once again, it's all about me. I have to get it right. Notice how that shows up, that sense that the individual, I am the individual who can get it wrong. This is a reflection on me, my identity, my worth. And notice how this shows up in the body. And then once again, notice also, what is it upon which all these feelings appear? And one more time. Go back to that sense of, I am the one who can get this wrong. And that reflects on me, who I am, my value, my identity. And then, let's take this a little bit differently this time. Can you find that individual? Can you find that sense of the person? Can you find the one who feels that way? And whatever came up, whatever appears, could you allow that to be enough just for now? So, one last point here. In my experience, there is no one way of doing it. In fact, if you look at it more closely, you may notice that most of the big breakthroughs, most of the innovations in this world, most of the discoveries are accidents. You could even say mistakes. It's as simple as the discovery of penicillin, which came about from leaving a culture out in a laboratory. Oops. That kind of thing happens all the time. So what if mistakes are actually the way forward? What if your best breakthroughs in life were actually just, screw-ups? What if there's no such thing as a mistake? In truth, you'll never know unless you give yourself the chance to make a mistake. So just for now, could you give yourself permission? Would you allow yourself to be wrong? To screw up? To make a complete fool out of yourself even? Would you allow yourself that freedom? Could you do that? And would you? When? Good. Oh, wow. Very good. So, you know the drill. If you'd like to ask a question, get some support, share a gain, raise your hand. Keith has got his hand up already. Would you like to unmute, Keith?
Yes.
Well done. You didn't screw that up, did you?
I thought I was going to mess up, but you know what? You bring up such a powerful point. I have learned through my years on this earth that as long as I keep showing up, so what if I make mistakes?
Right.
Because most of the time people are concerned about themselves anyways.
Exactly.
And they're really not going to give a hoot, if you will.
Right.
Unless it's major. But
Even then. What is major?
Depends. Yeah. Well, okay.
I mean, have you checked the news recently? Yeah, so
I don't even want to go there.
No.
When I was in the construction business, my ex-wife actually taught me something about a very valuable lesson. I always thought it needed to be done my way, which I knew was the right way.
Yeah.
But I gradually allowed the people I hired to do as long as I knew they were experienced enough and not get hurt or hurt themselves or hurt other people or whatever, to give it a shot in doing what. And it actually turned out the more I cut them loose, the better of job they did, as well as under budget and under time they came in.
Right.
That's another aspect with business. When businesses, they are actually employee owned. I haven't done the research, but I can only imagine that they do very, very well, because people take pride when they're working as a part of being themselves.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
right,
the man or the woman, whatever it be. So that's just a little insight that came up for me just now as you were speaking.
That's valuable. That really is valuable.
Yeah. Hopefully it was.
Thanks, Keith.
It has been for me.
Yeah.
And as I look forward to going to Florida tomorrow evening, I can cut loose and not worry.
Okay, so that's something in the future.
True.
What about now?
Right now, I'm not going to worry about it.
Is there anything that I can help you with now where you'd like to feel more free, or?
Freer about going out in 1-degree weather today. And even though the sun's shining, it's a little bit chilly for the beginning of December here.
Yeah?
So, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I'm dealing with it. I know I'll be fine, but I don't want to leave my house.
Well, you live in Vermont and you have snow. I live in California and I'm still wearing a cap and dressed up.
Yeah, right.
So yeah. I don't know what to say, Keith. I don't know.
Well, there you go. I guess that was enough.
Great.
Thank you, Stephen.
I wish you all the best in your journey, Keith. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And God bless everyone.
Then. Okay, then.
Be well. Bye now.
Nice. All right, then. So here we are. And I'd like to invite anybody who wants to step up if you'd like and, ask a question, get some support, share a gain. I see Kate's hand. Would you like to unmute? Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, I'll be the first. Well, the second. Thank you, Keith. Have a safe trip as well. So I'm still hung up a little bit about the mom issue, about doing it right by her and with her,
Hmm.
because I took care of her for such a long time. I've had to leave her.
Hmm.
And even though it was her wish, there is still the thought in my head, am I still responsible? Did I do the right thing? Is there something other than what she's found herself in and she's not in a happy place? So I'm still a little bit worried that I could have done better, but also the big question, the confusion for me is how much of this whole mom question is still up to me, or should it just let go completely and just leave her be? I don't know how to handle this.
It's a tough one because this is your mother, right? Your parent. We do our best to raise our parents, don't we? But at some point, we have to let go and let them make their own mistakes in life, right? That's a little humor for you. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do a little releasing around the topic. Would you like to, Kate?
I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So notice how much you feel you need to be responsible. Notice the pressure of that, right? Shows up in the body, I'm sure, and possibly also in the mind.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely do you feel that?
An 8.
8, okay. So I'm going to invite you to welcome even more. Do you think there's 8.5?
There's a 9. All right.
Oh, that's
9.5.
what I'm talking about. Okay, then 9. Great. And could you allow this to be here for just a little bit longer? Not forever, but, just for now. I'm waiting for an answer, but it could be a no. Up to you.
Oh, I did say yes. Yeah,
Oh, you said yes. Good. Okay,
Yes,
then.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just didn't, I guess I didn't pick up. Yeah, so I'm feeling quite the pressure in my chest area and also sort of at the top of my head, pressing against from the
So,
inside. From the top. Yeah.
great. So it's mostly in the body. Could you focus on the body exclusively, right? Just zoom in on the body.
Yeah.
Right. And now could we just cut the cord? You've given a name to this and a whole story and a description and a meaning and a reason. What if that's actually nonsense? Could you allow it to be nonsense? Could you let go of wanting this to mean something? What's happening in the body?
Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm. And would you?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's already a release, isn't it? Just a little shift happened.
Wow.
So, right.
Brilliant. Yeah,
What,
mashallah.
let's take it one more step though, because all of this concern, all of this pressure of responsibility, what if that's really just love?
Yeah. It is.
Exactly. Exactly. You wouldn't feel that way if you didn't care, would you?
Of course not.
Right. So could you invite that to reveal itself as what it really is? Could you just invite it to be love? Notice how that feels as it shifts.
Really warm and inviting and spreading and loose.
Yeah. And what if that were just enough, that love? What if that were all that was needed?
Oh, fear just stepped up. It's like, no, 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 this can't be it.
So, could you open to that fear? Turn and face it and give it an invitation to the table,
Yeah.
It's here anyway, so, right?
Yeah.
And as you welcome that fear, does it get worse or better? What happens? Just notice. That might actually, go ahead.
And it becomes loose. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fear, that's the mind stepping in. Don't go so quickly. Hang on a minute. Why is it doing this? Is it trying to help?
It thinks it does, but it just never does it?
Well, I'm not saying that it's effective, but yeah, it's actually trying to help. And once you
Okay.
see that, I mean, it's a little bit like you know how a child wants to help and it's really not that helpful, you know that thing?
Yeah, or the helicopter parent. That's annoying too, right?
Ooh, there you go, exactly right. Again, though, where does that come from? That comes from a desire to help. So could you invite that to reveal itself as love?
Yes.
What else could it be? You wouldn't feel that way if you didn't care. Yeah. But notice also how that feels, how the body reacts, how the mind quiets. Yeah.
Body relaxing, mind quieter.
Mm-hmm. And just for now, could you allow love to support you and your mother?
Yes.
And by the way, what do you think that she would want for you?
To live my own life. I mean, she's told me over and over. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. How does that feel for now?
Feels good. Feels at peace.
Ooh.
Feels like the baby has been put to sleep. Sleeping. I don't know what time at night it's gonna wake back up.
Again, it's also a useful question is, would I feel this way if I didn't care?
Exactly, of course not.
Right. And it's been my experience that whatever you're feeling, if you invite it, it transforms into love. It can. So those two little steps might be useful. Okay, would that be enough for now, Kate? If so,
Oh, very good. That's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
great. I'm going to mute you and then just ask Ladislav to step forward. Good to see you.
Hello, good to can you see me? Wait one second. I can feel good to see me.
I don't hear you clearly. Could you speak into your microphone or whatever?
Let's see.
Talk a little
Is
bit and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
it should be good right now.
Sounds good. Okay. So how can I help you? What's on your heart?
I'm loosening up some programs these days about not being kind of good enough, worthy enough, lovable enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, applicable to kind of anything. But yeah, this got triggered in from a perspective of relationships.
Oh, you got triggered about a relationship or relationships in general.
Just not being good enough, like something is wrong with you.
Is that feeling here now?
Very little bit, not much.
Okay, so is it possible this just might be a story?
For sure.
And keep in mind, I'm not saying that the feeling isn't real or valid.
Yeah.
The story is all about taking the memories, assembling them into meaning, and pointing at the future. Be careful. So just notice how it's constructed. Notice that you've chosen memories. And then the next question is it possible you've chosen the worst possible ones?
I'm
Is
not
it?
sure about the memories. I don't see like kind of particular one thing. It's kind of the whole view, the whole side of everything in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing a particular.
Well, okay. But there's a sense that this is going to happen again in future. Even if I don't feel it strongly now, it'll come back.
Yeah, it would be safe to assume, given it was always there. So unless
Okay.
it comes now, then it will stay.
Well, let's take a little different approach. Could you let go of wanting that to happen?
Sure.
And would you?
Yeah.
And when?
Now.
So, could you open yourself to the possibility that this might never ever happen again? At least not in the same way.
Yeah.
And what's here now?
Mm. And just for more context, of course, there was one kind of situation that it triggered it. Right?
Oh, something happened recently. Is that it? Is that the idea?
Yes, it also happened recently, but there are many occasions.
Well, okay, in that case, could you play that back in your memory like a movie? Allow yourself to see it, feel it, experience it, and let the feelings come up.
Yeah, there is like a strong pull, to avoid those things through the person. Like, there is my safety, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, does
There's,
this show up in the body or is this something playing out in the mind? What's the stronger part of it?
I don't know.
That doesn't matter. How intensely does it come up? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the maximum.
Now it's maybe like 3, 4.
Hmm. Is that the best you can do? Could you welcome up even more? Just invite it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Good. And check and see, is there any wanting to make this different? Control it, push it away. Hold on to it, figure it out. Is there any desire to control?
I would like it to go away.
Right. Just notice that. And does it feel personal? Is this about you, your story?
Yeah, it seems about Ladislav, yeah.
Hmm. Notice how that shows up as well. Have a breath or two and just be with that for a moment. Hmm. And could you let that go? All of it, the whole story, the feeling, etc. Could you just let that go?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes.
When?
No.
And could you open yourself up to the possibility that things are going to work out? What if? And just notice what reaction.
Yeah, I'm not fully believing it. There is doubt and there is a lot of proof from the past.
Okay, so the proof from the past, now you're talking about the story.
Yeah.
All of that proof from the past is very selective. Is it possible that you also have examples where that didn't happen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so you see, this is a story. I'm not saying that those things never happened, but you've chosen the worst cases and tried to make meaning out of it. And I'm not saying that you did it, but the mind did that. Do you see?
Let's say I'm generalizing based on the most
Exactly.
common occurrence. Yeah.
Well, this is exactly what the mind does. This is the mechanism.
Yeah.
But when you see it, you may notice it doesn't have to feel as real when you see that it's constructed. Let's go back and forth a bit with this story. Could you allow it to feel as serious, as real, as heavy, as meaningful as it might do? And just allow yourself to feel the weight of the story.
Yeah.
And then, could you open up to how unreal, how made up, how transparent the story really is?
Yes. A little
Mm-hmm.
stretch, but
A
yeah,
little stretch. Yeah,
I can translate the thoughts about the future. Yeah.
sure. And then go back to the story, the weight, how heavy it is, how serious, how real, how threatening. Allow it to feel heavy. And,
Yeah.
and then, could you notice how unreal it really is, how made up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And one more time, could you notice how real it seems to feel?
Yeah.
And when you're ready, could you just allow it to be fantasy, transparent, made up, as light as a feather?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's here now?
Yeah, mixed feelings between those two.
Mm-hmm. Well, so let's take one more approach, or go back to one more approach. Could you let go of wanting this to happen again? That may not make logical sense, because why would you want that? But just for now, could you let go of wanting this to happen again?
Yes.
And would you?
Let's go with no.
Nice. And when?
Now.
Mm-hmm. So, again, the story is trying to help you. It's trying to prevent a bad outcome. It's
Yeah.
telling you that this happens over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, maybe it does happen again in some way, but maybe it's not exactly the same. Could you give yourself the freedom to make a mistake in future? And again, mistakes are how we learn.
Yes.
An old friend of mine, every email she sends has a statement. It says, always make new mistakes.
Mm.
Do you have a sense of what that means?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, so let me just state it clearly. It's, again, mistakes are how we learn. And
Yeah.
also, mistakes are how we innovate and break through. What you think is a mistake might not appear the same way to the other person. But if you make a mistake and learn from it, it has value. Don't
Yeah.
make the same don't get sorry, don't make the same mistake twice, but give yourself the freedom. So could you allow yourself the freedom to make a mistake? Would you give yourself that freedom?
Yeah. Yeah. To do it as much as I want to. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, another old friend of mine, when talking about business, you make decisions in business. And some of us, we wait and wait and wait until we get exactly all the information and make the best possible decision,
Oh yeah.
which is a disaster. Because sometimes if you wait too long, the opportunity passes. Sometimes you just have to act and you have to be able to make a mistake. It's better to make a mistake sooner rather than wait for perfection. Do you have a sense of that?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been told the same. Yeah. More times.
Mm. Well, okay, so again, let's just do this for everybody. I'd like us all, for just a moment, to focus on this. It's so important. Could you just give yourself permission to fail, to make a mistake, to screw up? Could you? Would you? When? How does that feel for right now, Laddie?
What?
How does that feel for now?
Ah.
Do you feel a little bit more free, or is there some other approach you'd like to try, or another part of it to let go?
Yeah. I'm not sure. It feels similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind if there's no one like to experiment. Yeah.
Could you repeat that?
If there's no one in the line, I don't mind to experiment.
Okay. Well, so when you say it feels the same, are you talking about a physical sensation?
I'm lost right now.
Okay. So you said that you'd like to experiment. There's some feeling that remains. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I would like my aim is to be useless about the thing, like give zero fucks, complete freedom of that.
Yeah. And so you don't. You don't feel that hootlessness.
No, I'm pretty okay, but it's not there now.
What if it never will be?
Are you talking?
What if hootlessness is also an illusion?
What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is that I've never met anybody who feels completely neutral about every decision, every step, every thing that happens. As
No,
long
no, it's
as,
not about. It's
hmm?
about like one particular belief. It's not about the whole life.
Okay, would you like to name that belief?
Sure. Yeah, like I'm unworthy.
Unworthy.
Mm.
Okay. So how does that feel? How does that show up? Is that in the body? Is that in the mind? I am unworthy.
It starts in the mind first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so these are thoughts.
There is
Are you,
very a mild sensation, like a little one.
mm-hmm. Well, let's check. Are you these thoughts? Or are you that which is aware of thoughts? Are you these sensations? Or are you that which is aware of the sensations?
That which is aware.
Mm-hmm. And does awareness make mistakes?
No,
Is awareness unworthy or worthy?
no,
Notice how that feels. Take your time and just rest for a moment in this awareness and allow yourself to be. And just for everybody, I love what I'm hearing right now. So, at the very heart of who and what you are aware. And that awareness is neither worthy nor unworthy.
mm.
How is that for now?
It's okay. Good.
Nice. I'm glad we took that extra step.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, Ladislav. I'm going to mute you, lower your hand, and invite Ronnie to step forward. He's got his hand up too.
Hello.
Good
For
to
me,
see
good
you, Ronnie.
evening. Maybe for you, good morning.
Good morning for me, but not in the Netherlands.
No, not in the Netherlands now. Yeah, it's good
So,
evening already. Uh, I found it really a good topic about making a mistake because,
translation, you're human.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
continue.
no, no, it's no problem. And also today, I saw in some kind of mistake that I made the step. So, by you having this call and a lot of people were releasing, and I saw for myself what I'm doing. So, um, having the process to do everything right. And then if I'm having a call with somebody or mm, I want to go for a certain point and I don't want to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do, then that doesn't feel good. And I want to avoid to do that again. Want to avoid to do that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's costing really a lot of energy. Of course, I'm human, so I think sometimes it's normal.
Well, it's normal to feel that way. A lot of us do. You're right. But the whole idea of mistakes is absurd. Think about nature. Have you ever seen a tree make a mistake?
If you look so much at it grows, then yeah, sometimes so much it doesn't grow like you think it will grow. But
Oh, you can say that's a really incompetent tree. This tree is not worthy.
no, no, that not. But it makes mistakes in growing. How do you say that so much? It's not so perfect like so much maybe you think. So sometimes it's perfect because it's imperfect.
Well, I mean, a tree may not have enough light or water or nutrients to grow,
Mm-hmm.
but and I've never seen an incompetent tree.
No.
No, and obviously, trees don't do very much. How about animals?
Mhm.
Have you ever seen an incompetent dog? I mean, dogs can do silly things.
Yeah.
They don't really make mistakes. They're not really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Children. Children do all kinds of crazy things. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mistake, the word mistake carries with it the weight of judgment.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like if I look at something, then I look aesthetically how it looks. So then you have mistakes there, but also with animals, if they sometimes fight, then you think sometimes it's a mistake or something like that. But it's the story that I make of it.
Well, that's your
Just
interpretation. Animals always
yes.
fight or don't.
Mhm.
They just do what animals do. Yeah. So let me ask you, Ronnie, would you like to feel more free about something? Is there something you'd like to release on?
Yeah, I think some of these topics, what I'm just now just saying, I
Hmm.
like to release on that topic so much that I want to do everything right, and if something is going wrong, then I want to do it. Uh, then I want not to have that mistake again.
Okay. So is that feeling here right now?
Yes,
Okay. Is that something in the body or in the mind?
it's in the mind, but also in I can feel it also in my head,
In the head. Okay. All right. Well,
head and head and chest.
head and chest. Okay. So could you just focus on what's happening in the body and welcome that as best you can? Just give it space.
Yes, I can.
Hmm. And could you let go of wanting that to mean anything?
Yes, I could.
And would you?
I would also.
And when?
Now,
And check and see, are you those sensations or are you that which is aware of those sensations?
I'm aware.
Hmm. And check and see, does that awareness make mistakes?
No,
Hmm. Does the body mind make mistakes?
in my opinion, yes.
Hmm. In your opinion, well, okay then. What if you could love your mistakes? What if you could love your seeming mistakes? Again, you told me that's an opinion, so what if you
Mhm.
could love those seeming mistakes?
It feels difficult to do.
Well, here's one way of looking at it. So let's see that you're sitting in a park on a bench and you see a stranger walking by,
Mhm.
and that stranger trips and falls flat on his face.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay, well, how do you feel about that? I mean, that person is obviously a loser, right? Would that be your reaction?
No, that not. But I will feel pity for the person.
Hmm.
I think I will try to help him.
Okay. Well, why can't you give yourself the same break?
I can, but I know sometimes also what the story is because I know that you also went to school and then you learn so much to make things good, and then also your parents say something that you have to do it like that. So that's the story that goes into my mind so much to have to do the things good or
I'm not so sure I
not to make a
understand you.
mistake.
The difference between you and the stranger is that you know about your education. Is that what you're saying? You know what your parents have told you? What's the
No, it's not so
difference?
much about the stranger. So much he can also fall. I can also fall, but
Hmm.
there's really a story in my mind that I have to do right
Hmm.
and to
Yeah.
do better the next time.
Well, I see. One thing you could do if you
And
wanted
also the
to.
thing that you say about so much to make a mistake is also good because sometimes I also see that it's even better, but it's still in my system. That's what I
Mhm.
feel.
So if it's in your system, again, we're talking mentally, physically.
Yes, it's more mentally,
Hmm. Okay.
but also physically because the both is related. For me, it's related.
Hmm. Well, let's just check and see, are you those thoughts? Or are you aware of those thoughts?
I'm aware.
Right. And are you those sensations? Or are you aware of sensations?
I'm aware of sensations.
Hmm. Does awareness make mistakes?
No.
Hmm. Well, the body mind just might make mistakes, but so what? That's not you,
Mhm.
is it?
No, I'm getting the sense. Took a while, but I'm getting there. Okay.
Hmm. One more thing to remember as well. I mean, this may be a little counterintuitive, but when you love somebody,
Mhm.
if you really love somebody,
Mhm.
you might also notice that you love their mistakes. What seem to be mistakes become quirks, um, become minor things. They become endearing, you know?
Mhm.
Do you have a sense of that?
Yes.
Hmm. We love the person and we love the mistakes because that's human.
Mhm.
I'm not saying, of course, I'm talking about like little things, not huge character flaws, My friend, the mass murderer, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I'm understanding it also.
Right. You know, but, you know, it could be that, for
No, but you,
example, our friend Ronnie doesn't speak English entirely perfect because he has a slight Dutch accent. That could be
Mhm,
failure, or that
of
just
course,
could be, you know,
yeah, something cute.
something endearing, something sweet, you know?
I'm understanding
Mm,
it, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But you make
Ronnie,
me think because
you don't speak perfect English without an accent, and we just can't accept you on the call anymore. Goodbye. Right?
yes, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, but you also made me think about if I look at the person, then also that same thing is going on. Then you also look for imperfections and things like that. And now I can see that it's just a way of my mind goes.
Hmm.
Okay.
I will tell you one thing, though, Ronnie, you did make one mistake. You came to this call late, and we did a
Mhm.
really good group release at the beginning about the fear of making mistakes. Now, of course, I forgive you, but I also invite you to go back after and watch the recording. I think it's a useful way of letting that go. So I'll leave it
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Sure. Good. Thank you for raising your hand, Ronnie. Okay. I'm going to mute you there. Okay, we are nearing the end of the hour, but I still see Michael's hand. So would you like to unmute and say hi? Good to see you, Michael.
Good morning, Stephen. How you doing?
Good afternoon or evening. I'm doing fine. And what
Good,
would you
good.
like? A check-in, perhaps?
Exactly.
How did I know? So, Michael, just check and see what's here now. Have a look. Notice what's happening in the mind. Images, thoughts, memories.
Can you ask that question again, just the very first part?
Please have a look and see what's going on in the mind.
No, actually, if you can just say what's here right now.
Oh, of course. What is here right now? What's here now?
Um, can you say again, please?
Look inside and notice what's here and now.
Yeah, there's an openness. Um, and a slight uncertainty. Hmm.
Let's zoom in on that. How does uncertainty show up? Is that thoughts, memories, images, sounds? Is that sensations in the body?
Yeah,
All of the above. Okay, then could you allow that?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Is there any kind of resistance to this? Any kind of wanting to make it different?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And could you open to that even just a bit more? Let that be okay too. Any sense that what seems to be happening might be personal about
Oh,
you?
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Notice that too. And can you find the one who feels that way?
Yes.
Hmm. And is it possible that that is simply a thought?
Yes.
Are you that thought, or are you that which is aware of the thought?
Maybe both, meaning maybe neither, actually. Maybe neither.
Let me ask it again. Are you the thought, or are you that which is aware of the thought? I'll give you a hint. That silence is a good answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so could you just
Yeah.
allow yourself to rest as that silence for a moment?
Yeah.
Just a little commentary here. When I first started this work, I was very, very afraid of the silences when, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. As a facilitator. But now, actually, the silences have become kind of my favorite part.
Actually, Stephen, you're wrong.
Oh, good.
You're very wrong. It just means you're not adding value.
I'm glad somebody's paying attention around here, Michael. Thank you so much. Woo-hoo! Wow. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. Ah,
Hmm.
can you ask me the first question again, please?
Well, that would be what's here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for showing up and raising your hands and offering us your silence, Michael. Great. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, the leaf blower is arriving. That's the usual Friday here. And yeah, luckily we have good sound filtering going on, so I'm pretty sure you don't hear it, but I sure do. Doesn't bother me too much, but it's what apparently seems to be happening. I will invite one last hand if anybody feels inspired. Michael, you're on a roll. He says he hates leaf blowers and doesn't want to release on it. Fair enough. Well, okay then, everybody. Nice. I'm glad that you all came. Look forward to seeing you again. Yeah. Oh, Kate was thinking that I'm near an airfield. I'm not too terribly far from an airfield, but that's not what it is. Well, okay. In that case, we can leave it at that for now. Thank you all for coming, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.
Thank you.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay then. Oh, and I'm pushing the wrong button. There we go. Bye-bye.